Good afternoon, morning, evening, YouTube. This is Razadine, a member of Red Guides, and today we are going to finally cover Kissassist. Now, I want to let you know this might be a long video, and I'm going to be giving you guys a very informative, bold warning about using this, which I'm going to do that right now before we get started. This program is designed to actually fully automate an entire group of 6 people, which you can do with this program. But I want to warn you guys, do not fully automate a 6 group, go AFK for hours, like say you automate it and go to bed and expect XPAAs in the morning and so on. Do not do that, because if you're doing it in any form of zone, and other players catch you, and they're ones that don't like it, they can't handle it because they cannot figure it out. They will whine and cry like babies to GMs, and then GMs will come and investigate it. And if they catch you not at the keyboard after so many tells and so many minutes, they can and will ban you for auto AFKing. From what I heard, folks, we are having a good thing with this now that Daybreak is supposedly accepting this, where they're allowing people to, so to speak, bot as long as they're at the keyboard. All right, and I'm fully letting you guys know, if you're going to bot at the keyboard, not at the keyboard, be warned of the consequence above. But if you're going to bot and be at the keyboard and do a fully automated group, say you're watching a movie and you just want this to run through like a Dead Hills mission and so on, that's fine. But just be there in case a GM or player sends a tell. I would also recommend that if you have this program here, which is not on this computer, but it's called Gina, get that, set that up for all your tunes for receiving tells. So when you get one, you can switch, look who's gotten it, and send the reply. They don't automatically jump on your case, GMs. They'll give you a few minutes to respond, but folks, be very cognizant and present. Alright, and with that warning out of the way, let's begin our procedure process. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to run MacRequest. The second thing is you're going to set up your server. The third thing is you're going to choose any flavor of login style and log into the game. Now, once you are in game, you're obviously going to get all of your tunes that are going to be in the group characters, whichever one you want to use. Both are, to me, acceptable. You're going to get them all in a group. Now, I've ran this before and botched a few things, so I had to start this all over, so kind of ignore this here. But this is what's going to be our first macro run. What you do is you're going to get everybody in in a group, and they're all going to be set as a full group. The first command you're going to issue is the Mac, BCGA is the Mac slash Mac, and your macro name, which is KISSASSIST. Now, all macros begin with the Mac command. We're going to issue this macro, and let's see what happens. They all receive it via the server. Oh, I think I have a spelling error. Yes, I think I left out one of the S's. Alright, it's been sent. All received. Alright, now you heard all that beeping. Why? Well, because nobody had a target. See? No target on the warrior. So everybody's macro ended. The warrior said you can't tank yourself, you can't assist yourself. This one had no target set for your tank, as directed here. So we're going to do this again. We're going to go ahead and do /BCGA / target command from EverQuest, your warrior, or paladin or shadow knight. Yes, SKs, we like you too. Alright, hold on, this one is acting up. Sometimes it does that, so let's just do that command again. Let's go ahead and see that everybody has a target. And everybody does. So we'll go back onto our warrior. And now we're going to tell them all bcga//mac, and then the macro name, KISSASSIST. And let's see what happens. It's been sent. We get a different error. You cannot assist yourself, but yet all these other folks are up and running. Well, why is that? Well, if you take a look at the INI file here for the group, should be the right one, yes. You'll see we have these INIs. And if we open one for the warrior, you see here, this is what the generic INI. Nothing's been established, filled in, or set up. Well, let's look up here. You cannot assist yourself. Well, we have something here called role equals assist. So we're wondering if this is the problem. But again, we just got this macro and we're running it for the first time and we don't know what to do. Well, that's not a problem because the folks at Red Guides have taken the time and have wrote a manual for this. So if you go to redguides.com, click on the forums, and then come here, you'll see this one that says read the friendly manual. And then if you go down here to Kissassist and Kissassist 8 instructions and settings info, if you look in here, you'll see all of these sections here. All right. The section we were looking at with that role is the general. So you see here, oh, role assist. Okay. So then we go out and take a look. Oh, it's set to role assist here. And then we look down and see, oh, role tank. And it says to set up the tanking options. Well, if we change this to tank, all right, and save it, and run that macro again, it's going to work. All right. Now you're going to ask, so does that mean I have to go in here and edit these sections based on that for everything, for every tune? Basically, yes. All right. You'll have to do that for your tune and its level. It is a long, painstaking process. So, for example, here's for your buffs for your cleric and your shaman and your druid. All right. You'll have to edit that. There's a DPS section for casters and so on. One section I do want to show you, though, when we were talking about the AFK bit earlier, is this section right here. The AFK section, which begins right here and goes right down to the mercs. This is what I was telling you about earlier. You can set this up to warn you if there's a GM based on these options right here. But again, folks, even if you're using this, like even using just one to pause, all right, some people might even use two to end the macro just to be safe. Don't rely on it because sometimes it may act up. Always be at the keyboard. Alright, so with all those taken care of, and that basic up there about the role, the biggest common error, what you need to do is you simply need to go in, edit the file, and make things appropriate. I will also warn you one more thing with that file. When it comes to spells, you must include the RK dot space 2 I's capitalized for Roman numeral 2, or it will error out all the time saying it can't find the AA or the spell. All right, folks, and with that in mind, I'm going to also show you one other thing. Out here on the forums, say you don't want to do all that INI writing work. It's like, that's going to take me at least a day to write every tune up and then check my spelling and stuff. Well, there's a workaround. If you come to the main forum page and you go down under Kissassist, there is a link right here that says compiled INI list. All you need to do is find the closest level one that you still might have to modify for your tune. This example, I'm doing 87s who are using the level 85 ones here. So for example, I'll pick on this wizard. You open the wizard one up, you hit select all, right click, copy, open that INI file in Notepad, paste it in there, file save, and you're good to go with that wizard. Now, I've taken the opportunity and liberty of actually getting all of this taken care of for you folks. So, let me go ahead and minimize this window and go ahead and copy them over. Now, I use a external source. It's called Dropbox. All right. It allows me to have them all separately done, saved It's a great feature. Check it out, www.dropbox.com. So I would just do simply a standard cut and copy. And copy here, replace. And there's everybody replaced. And we're good to go. So let's go ahead and try this again. We'll get everybody back up. See what happens when the warrior reissues the command for everybody to target and everybody to assist. Alright, folks, one second. I have to find that warrior. Alright, so we're going to do slash bcga / target lyntanna. I'm not going to even bother because I think they all have it. Oop. Gotta stop the macro first. CGA / target lyntanna. Alright. Wait 1 second. Alright, folks, let me see why this is not doing this. Typo in name. Alright, so we all got it targeted. We're all going to now do the macro. Alright. And lo and behold, we're running. Now, of course, you've seen everybody rush. And why is that, you ask? Well, if we go ahead, we'll go back to Red Guides for a sec, because these guys go through a pre-setup buffing. If you go back out to the forums and you go into the friendly manual, you will see in the settings section here, there is a section called Chase. And it's right here. Tells you what it all does. And the distance. These two go together. Basically, this is an automatic auto follow. They will leash, which is called also known as sticking to people. There was an old command, I believe, that's still out there called stick. This is the same thing, but they call it here chase. All right. They will leash to one another, following each other around the zone until you tell them to stop chasing. So, for example, I'm back here on this warrior. All right. They're all done. Now we have this sort of default set up for chasing. If you can see, as soon as the cleric gets done casting a spell, they're all chasing the warrior. I tell them to stop. Well, they'll stop. I can freely move this warrior without anybody following. Tell them to chase. They're all chased. Now, bear in mind, you've seen some of them are lagging, like this cleric was and all the others. If they're in the middle of casting a spell, they will finish what they're doing, then they will chase. Now, for example, let's pretend we're going to be, this is a camp zone, we're in a mission, and I don't want them all following me. Well, what I can do is tell them to stop chasing, and what I can do them is all stay here. Anything that comes near this area, which is called a camp, kill it by using a command called camp here. As you can see, I've turned it on. It's turned off to chase. Alright, automatically defaults it off. And now, watch what happens when I try to move this warrior too far away. Like, let's try to run over to here. And I stopped. It took a few seconds, but it leashed back to the camp. So it didn't go too far away and pull. Very handy if you have a class like a bard, monk that you want to pull with, okay, but you don't want to use your warrior to do it. So what I can do is I can set up a separate command like this one right here. If you see what it does, it's a tell command, and I'm telling the bard, turn their camp off. So I do that. Alright, it's gone through. I find my bard in my list here. I'm on the bard. I'm going to go pull some mobs over here.